the National Audit Office, now has delivered a scathing indictment of the government's efforts to combat misogynistic violence, highlighting a crippling lack of coordination and a fragmented approach that has left victims vulnerable and progress stalled. The report, released 4 years after the launch of a major government response to violence against women and girls, VAWG, a response spurred by the tragic murders of Sabina Nessa and Sarah Everard, paints a bleak picture of a system failing to adequately address a significant and growing problem. The NAO's findings reveal that disjointed efforts have allowed VAWG to continue to inflict widespread physical, mental, social, and financial harm, affecting a staggering 1 in 12 women in England and Wales. The current Labour government, while promising to have VAWG within a decade, a target lauded by campaigners, but deemed unattainable without whole-of-government commitment and a concerted effort to dismantle deep-rooted sexism and misogyny, has initiated an internal analytical sprint to review existing VAWG policies. A new strategy is anticipated in late spring. This follows years of inadequate response under the previous Conservative administration. While the Home Office spokesperson attempts to deflect blame by highlighting initiatives such as new protection orders for domestic abuse victims, a review of police handling of stalking cases, and the deployment of domestic abuse specialists in 999 control rooms, the NAO report directly contradicts this narrative. The spokesperson's claim of pioneering a truly cross-government approach rings hollow in light of the damning evidence presented. The report unequivocally states that the government has been not on track since the beginning of the VAWG strategy, despite the previous Conservative government's assurances and the existence of a dedicated team. The NAO highlights the significant challenge in securing buy-in from other government departments, illustrating a fundamental flaw in the strategy's implementation. An oversight group, intended to provide crucial monitoring and coordination, only convened a year after the strategy's launch. Equally concerning, the ministerial group responsible for tracking progress held a mere 3 meetings over 4 years, a shocking dereliction of duty that underscores the government's lack of seriousness in tackling this pervasive issue. The previous Conservative government, while claiming significant progress following a 2021 review of the criminal justice system's approach to rape and the introduction of the 2021 Domestic Abuse Act, clearly failed to deliver on its promises. The NAO report dismantles this narrative, highlighting the systemic failures that have allowed VAWG to persist and flourish. The lack of effective interdepartmental collaboration, the infrequent meetings of crucial oversight bodies, and the apparent lack of political will to address the root causes of the problem have all contributed to the current crisis. Andrea Simon, director of the End Violence Against Women Coalition, voiced concerns that meaningful primary prevention work has been consistently neglected. She rightly points out the deplorable lack of attention to prevention, particularly given the acknowledged underreporting of VAWG incidents. Simon emphasizes the urgent need for a new VAWG strategy accompanied by substantial financial commitments, reflecting the gravity and scale of this ongoing epidemic of violence. The report's findings reinforce the need for a fundamental shift in approach, demanding not only increased funding, but also a genuine commitment from every government department to work collaboratively and effectively to eradicate VAWG. This requires a comprehensive strategy that tackles the deep-rooted societal issues fueling this violence, addressing prevention as a top priority, and ensuring adequate support for survivors. The sheer volume of women impacted underscores the urgency of this situation, demanding immediate and substantial action from all levels of government. The failure to effectively coordinate efforts and prioritize prevention has had devastating consequences, leaving countless women vulnerable and reinforcing the systemic inequalities that perpetuate this violence. The report acts as a stark reminder of the government's responsibility to protect its citizens and the urgent need for a complete overhaul of its approach to tackling violence against women and girls. This isn't merely a matter of statistics, it's a matter of human lives and fundamental human rights. The lack of effective action thus far is unacceptable, and demands immediate and decisive intervention to prevent further suffering and injustice. The government's failure to act decisively and collaboratively represents a profound moral and ethical lapse that must be rectified with immediate and sustained action. The call for a comprehensive, adequately funded, and effectively coordinated strategy is not merely a suggestion, it is a critical necessity. The lives of women depend on it.